The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Stargate Atlantis, Season 1, Episode 8, Underground. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast, where we talk about Stargate Atlantis. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
Hi.
Are you playing Dragon Champions?
No.
You should be playing Dragon Champions.
Is that what we're doing right
now? Our guild is growing, though, right?
Yeah, we've got like 6 people now.
That's freaking cool, man.
Someday you will be able to join us.
Yeah, somebody asked Alex to join the guild, and he was like, I can't. I'm not up to level 20 yet.
I'm such a loser.
What an idiot.
And JT's like busting balls in Discord right now.
Yeah.
It's like, such and such did not log in today and did contribute his daily points to the guild.
I love all the trolls we have on our Discord now.
Dope.
It's so funny.
If you guys want to join the guild, head over to saltynerd.com/DC, download Dragon Champions. It's a really fun, free mobile game that you can download. And you can join us salty nerds in our guild and go on missions and do quests and follow the storyline and collect your characters and make them really cool. And someday our guild will be cool enough that Matthew Kadish will leave his super high tier guild.
It's never gonna happen.
At 80, what, level 80 or something like that?
Yeah, I'm at level 80. But
he needs to start a new character and join us there with his new character.
I don't think he'll do that either.
His new social media usernames is gonna be Matthew Kadish,
Dragon
blue
Champion.
check mark, level 80.
Dragon Champion. All right, guys. Yeah, we love the app. They support us, and we want to support them back. So anything you guys can do, it's completely free to play. It's a lot of fun. You guys can join us, like I said, and we'd love the support.
tell them about our code.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, use the promo code SALTY and you in like the settings area, and then you guys will get access to a couple cool things to kind of help you along. Yeah, free stuff to help you along your journey. So head over to saltynerd.com/DC, download Dragon Champions. All right, guys, today we're talking about Stargate Atlantis, Episode 8, Underground, where the Amish people have nukes, which is very interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us. Of course, this is our club members content, so we're going to do first couple of minutes for free. If you want access to the full deep dive, head over to saltynerdclub.com. Jude, take it away.
Oh, no, you didn't introduce us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do that. Yeah, that's right. Jude is also here. How you doing, Jude? And Matthew,
that's all.
Yeah, and Matthew Kadish.
Just wanted some attention.
She's just like, I wanted to say hi, damn it. Matthew Kadish is also
He was
here.
waiting for you to take a drink so he could introduce you.
She didn't take a drink. That's what messed us up.
I only have water in front of me today. I was like, that's no fun.
We're really hitting it hard today.
Yeah, it's fine.
Water and
water.
Hot water.
Hot water
See,
lemon.
Tepid water.
So that was yesterday.
Yeah. He was like, can I have tepid water? And I was like, yeah, you can. So I gave him tepid water, and he was like, why is this water tepid? And I was like, what the fuck, man?
Kadish is also here.
Yes, I am here, and I'm very excited to talk about this episode because it's got one of my all-time favorite actors in it, Miles and Miles O'Brien. That's not his name. Cole Meany, who plays Chief Miles O'Brien on Star Trek. He's in this episode of Stargate.
I was so excited to see him when he popped in. I was like, O'Brien's here. The party can get started.
This episode was actually written by Peter DeLuise, who's a big part of the Stargate kind of like tapestry. He's written and directed numerous episodes, but he's also Dom DeLuise's son. And he was one of Wayne's crew members in Wayne's World as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's always fun to see his name pop up in the credits because I know I'm in for a good one because I like Peter DeLuise.
All right, guys, before we dive into this episode, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're gonna talk about Stargate. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, guess what? We have an exclusive t-shirt waiting for you guys for our Stargate fans out there. Head over to saltynerdstore.com and grab our limited time Stargate Atlantis t-shirt that we've made specifically for our club members to enjoy. And it's open to the public, so you guys can go and grab it as well. And don't forget to use the code SALTY to get 10% off of your purchase. Help support the podcast so you can rock some salty swag and rock the Stargate logo on there. So head over to saltynerdstore.com and grab that shirt before it disappears.
Our Eureka shirt's also still available.
The Eureka shirt is still available, guys. The Bite Me shirt's gone, though. Are you still wearing that, Jude, or did you take it off?
It was yesterday.
Oh my God.
We're all out of
My
whack.
brain is gone. All right, so Stargate Episode 8, Underground. Katie, do you have a quick synopsis for us?
Well, it's about basically the Stargate Atlantis crew needs food. And so Taylor starts introducing them to their trading partners, and they find these Amish people who are kind of like suspicious, but they work out a deal to trade some food. Turns out that the Amish people, called the Janai, are a little bit more than they presented themselves to be. And so it leads to all types of shenanigans. And of course, Cole Meany is in this as the leader of the Janai. And he makes this episode for me because I love me some Cole Meany.
Yeah, me too.
I love how in the beginning they're like, this is a very serious situation because if we don't fix this, we might have to ration.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you have already been doing that?
and McKay's just like drinking and eating as much as he can because he's like, I want to get my fair share before it's all gone.
I'm just getting all my rations in now.
That was so bananas. And he's like, yeah, he's sitting there. He's like, yeah, maybe if you didn't drink 11 cups of coffee, you'd be a little calmer. And he's like, I'm just trying to get it in before it disappears. And I'm like, where's the logic in that?
I also like how like throughout this entire episode, like Shepard's the one in charge of negotiating with the Janai.
Oh, he's terrible.
And he keeps coming back to Elizabeth Weir with like the developments, and she's like, "You're terrible at negotiating."
Okay, I promised them our ship for a few coffee beans. Is that cool?
And Weir's like, I need to go next time. You are terrible at this.
She's like, "Did you already promise them this stuff?" He's like, "Yeah. Sort of." She's like, "You're terrible at negotiating."
And he's like, "But I told him I had to ask you first." She's like, "But you already made the promise."
Yeah, and by the end of the episode, she's like, "You told them we'd help them build nuclear bombs." He's like, "Well, yeah, we need the food."
You know, the funny part that I got about this was McKay, right? Yeah. And we all know there's some shady stuff going in there once they get down in the underground bunker. And McKay's all like, "Oh yeah, you just got to do this, this, and that, and this, and you guys will be good to go."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" And he's all like, "They're all McKay."
Shut up, dude.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, like Cole Meany, he's sitting there and he's like, "Do you guys have more weapons?" And McKay's like, "Do we have more weapons?" Weapons are us. And Shepard's like, "Dude, cool it with the weapons."
I love it. When they're talking about the puddle jumpers, like, how many of these things do you have? And he's like, one. And the dude just like side eyes him, like, fuck, bro.
He's like, I want it.
Yeah, the relationship between the Stargate Atlantis crew and the Janai is very interesting in this episode. It's the first time that they're meeting them. Mm-hmm. And the Janai are very secretive people. Mm-hmm. And when they stumble across the Janai's secret, which is that they're actually like a very advanced race for the Pegasus galaxy anyway, living in these like huge underground bunkers, and they're kind of fascistic, if that's a word.
They do a little bit come off as like space Nazis, just a little bit. There's either that or
say that?
I don't know. Are we not allowed to say that?
Space Californians.
Yeah, I mean they're not really space Californians because they're just trying to survive. Like they don't have like any like xenophobic tendencies or anything like that, but they are kind of dedicated to destroying the Wraith, and they're the closest that the Stargate Atlantis people have come across in the Pegasus galaxy to having the technology to actually do that. So like they're on the cusp of creating a nuclear bomb, but they can't figure out how to actually like get the material to achieve fission.
Mm-hmm. They're like stuck in like this weird kind of like 1940s, 1950s kind of thing with the weird black and white tube television.
I love the tube television thing that they were using. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, it's very retro.
Yeah, but they came from like a race that was like they had a huge conglomeration of planets before like the Wraith kind of came in and slapped them down and stuff like that. So they've for like generations they've been kind of preparing to do like a first strike against the Wraith, and they think that the Stargate Atlantis people can actually help them out. So they create this uneasy alliance, but they don't really trust one another.
I felt a little empathy for the Janai.
Yeah,
that I don't think I had the first time I watched this show years ago. Because I mean, how would you feel if we're like pretty much a spacefaring society, right? And all of a sudden we get knocked back to the 1930s, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? That would suck.
And we have to pretend to be Amish.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for that, man.
We got some really good desk makers over there.
I think those people have got something going on, and I want a part of it. So I don't know. I understand where you're coming from though, because they like.
I understood his anger.
They're not like outright bad guys. They're just very driven in their mission, and it's they're between a rock and a hard place, and they end up doing something stupid at the end of the show. But It's just, yeah, you understood what they were doing and why they were doing it.
They had some motivation.
Yeah, and you're kind of like,
the way they were.
I'm like, yeah, I kind of get why you're doing that. That's fine. Like, I want to destroy the Wraith. Yeah, so kind of so do
and
we.
Then there's, freaking Weir back in her space city. Like, what are you promising these people?
I kind of like after like the whole rigmarole of like them originally going there to trade for food, and then they like agree to do nuclear bombs, and they go on like this like very dangerous mission to the Wraith like spaceship. They get back, and at the end of the episode, Weir's like, "Oh yeah, the B team that I sent to do like the mission off screen, like they came back and they brought food."
Well, they found these super nice people, and they just gave us everything.
They
we
got
needed.
us a couple boxes of mangoes.
It's like the B team that like we never see what they do. Like they went off and achieved the mission, and Shepard's like, "Oh, that's
great.
That's
yeah, we just lost like 3 people, but we're good. I made an enemy while we were at it.
Yeah, we made a whole new enemy while they were giving us food. It was great.
That are almost nuclear capable.
What was funny about that too is like they're almost nuclear capable, but there's like a little subplot about them being amazed at C4, and I'm like,
I thought that was stupid, right?
Hold on a second.
It's like dynamite. What?
Yeah, you don't have freaking gunpowder. What's going on here?
You can't move a stump.
Yeah.
but you got a fucking underground city with.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
And McKay's like, like half my class could make a nuke in science. For the science fair.
He's like, I did get approached by the CIA one time.
It's like, can you believe I did not win the science fair?
That's
my nuclear bomb.
He was so offended.
I know. He's still pissed. He's living in his glory years.
Of course. Of 6th grade.
And he does have that great line in this where he's like, I know everything about almost everything.
And like Taylor, the whole episode is like, I know these guys. Oh my God, I did not know that about him.
Isn't that Taylor through most of the at least first couple seasons?
Is it?
Isn't
you
it?
have to tell me. I don't know. She kind of.
I haven't watched them all for a long time, but it feels like that's what she does.
She's like, let me do the talking, you guys.
Like,
I am not ready for this.
Yeah, the first season, she's just kind of like the one who's supposed to like be introducing them to all the other local cultures in the Pegasus Galaxy, and then like they kind of. The writers kind of put that aside, and they're just like, okay, she's just part of the team now, and she's a badass, and she can do stick fighting and stuff like that.
That works.
Let's make her a ninja.
So one important thing to note about this episode is that it's laying the foundation for the next 2 episodes we're going to be watching, which is a 2-parter where the Janai play a very big role in being like the antagonists of the story. So the next 2 episodes that we're going to be watching is going to be The Eye and the Storm, or The Storm and the Eye. And these were like the mid-season episodes of season 1 of Stargate Atlantis, where we start off with the Storm, and then the first episode back from the mid-season break was The Eye. And this is basically a story of where the Janai basically take over Atlantis, and Shepard becomes John McClane, where he's in a die-hard situation. So like Shepard versus all the Janai. And Robert Davey plays like the Hans Gruber role, where he's like the head of the expedition to take over Atlantis. And it was my favorite 2-part arc of the first season.
I don't feel like I have to watch it now because you've told us all about it for the last 2 weeks in a row.
It's gonna be good. But like you needed this episode.
John McClane in Atlantis.
Yeah,
Here we go.
You needed this episode to have like the context
to know who the Janai are and stuff and their motivations.
Yeah. So this wasn't the best episode of Stargate Atlantis we could have done, but it was necessary.
Gotcha. What's up, Jude?
Kadish said something earlier and it's bothering me and I have to address it.
Oh boy. This sounds fun.
Peter DeLuise is not in Wayne's World. Michael DeLuise is.
Who's Peter DeLuise?
I'm pretty sure it was Peter, but
you are incorrect. Michael DeLuise is in Wayne's World.
Awkward.
Do you want to go get a drink?
Yeah, let's go.
but he was also in Encino Man. He plays Matt in Encino Man, and that's how I.
Well, one of the DeLuises was.
I was
in
like,
Wayne's
Peter
World.
DeLuise is in Wayne's World, and I had to look it up, and I was like, no, he's not, and I had to get it out of my
Do you
body.
feel better now?
I do.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right.
Spouses.
All right, guys. So how this works is we do a deep dive breakdown, scene by scene of the episode, and we chat about what we liked, what we didn't like. We make fun of a couple things. We have a good time talking about this show. So if you want to join us on the club memberships, head over to saltynerdclub.com. Sign up. It's only $5 a month. You guys get an absolute ton of content in return. Fucking goddamn it.
What is going on?
I don't know.
I just always wanted to do that.
You dick.
Well, actually, I have one more thing I need to say.
He's like doing this behind the camera. Wait a second. Wait.
SaltyNerdClub.com. Get the rest of this episode where I yell at my co-hosts. Join the club. $5 gets you access to a ton of shit. It's really cool. Head over there. We love our club members. And for those guys that are going to join us, let's head over and talk about this episode. For the rest of you, stay salty, my friends.